Welcome to Above Par. I'm your host, Kathy Hartwood. I show you how to take more of your talent to the golf course without practicing harder, taking more lessons, or buying new equipment. I show you how to end the frustration of underperforming so you can start playing to your potential. This is where you are going to learn how to think above par so you can play below par. Let's get to it. Hello, my golf friend. How are you? Welcome back to Think Above Par. Hope you're having a beautiful summer. I wanted to share an excerpt from a workshop I did live at a country club. It's a Master Your Golf Brain workshop. It's 3 hours long. I've done these all over the country, and I finally recorded one. Don't ask me why it's taken that long. Actually, funny story. I told my husband, I'm going to record this one, and I need help with it because I can't record myself. So I had my phone, I had my iPad, and I'm all set up, ready to go. And I realized I need my phone, and I don't have a stand for my iPad. And so he says, I can do it. I'll record it on my phone. So he's in the back of the room anyway, because it's at the club where he works. And he sets up his phone, and his phone's dead. And so we couldn't use anything to record. So the first half of this workshop, before we took a break, his phone was charging. And so I recorded the second half. So I have half of a workshop. I am gaining on it. But anyway, I wanted to take an excerpt from the workshop just to share with you about expectations so you can hear it live. I love doing these workshops. They're actually so much fun, going to the clubs and interacting with people, getting them to ask questions live, telling stories and laughing. And everybody shares their unique experiences, but actually they're all very similar. Every single workshop that I've done, people are experiencing very similar things to you. I've done lots of different variations of this workshop live for memberships and at different clubs. And I think I really have found the sweet spot because I love the way that this one came off. The last few actually have come off, and the content that was delivered and the value that people got. And I'm going to offer it virtually pretty soon. So stay tuned. That will be coming up shortly. So without further ado, here's an excerpt from the workshop I recently did at a golf course in North Carolina. Okay, so expectations. This is the most impactful exercise that you can do, and I encourage you all to do this. I want you to go to the range, and when you're in a calm state, you gotta be calm, certain, or confident, or something that's useful. I want you to hit 10 shots with each club in your bag. If that's overwhelming, you can do every other club. You can do your favorite clubs. I want you to go to the short game area and hit 10 chips from different spots or the same spot, same distance from the green. I want you to go and hit 10 long putts that you might 3-putt, 10 short putts, 10 mid-range putts. You pick, like whatever you feel like you get a lot of or hit a lot of, right? And then the reason I want you to do 10 is because the math's super easy. So if you were, let's say you're on the range and you pick 2 posts that are the width of a fairway and you pull out your driver and you're like, I'm going to hit 10 drivers. Go through your routine, be as typical as you normally would. And in between the 2 posts, right? We got 2 posts. You have 5 balls in, 5 balls out. So if you have, you hit 50%, that's why the math is easy, you hit 50% of your drives in the fairway. So that means if you go and play golf, your expectation, if you are calm, certain, or confident over the ball, there's a big if, over that tee shot, would be to hit 7 fairways. If there's 4 par 3s, there's 14 fairways, 50% of 14 is 7. That's your expectation. That is a realistic expectation of where you are at this given moment in time. Not on where you want to be, not on what your possibilities are as a golfer. It's where you gotta meet yourself where you are. That's where I am today. I'm a person who hits 50% of the fairways, right, wherever my game is. It's a snapshot. You can do it again like in a couple weeks and see what it is. But if you go up and you do, let's say 3-foot putts, not from the same spot, you got to do a different spot each time, and you're going to notice that you hit maybe 8 out of 10. You missed 2. That's who you are. You're going to miss some. This is where we end up arguing with reality, where our expectations don't match reality. But the problem is you don't know what reality is. Do y'all know I have a podcast? It's called Think Above Par. And so I'm on, I don't know, 2:30. I'm at 2:30, something like that. Doesn't matter. Recently, I had an episode that I played on playing your best. Like, how many times you go out there, I just want to play well today. I just want to play my best. Who said that? Right? I want to go out, I just want to play my best today. Just please. Right? And the reason we do that is because we don't want to feel crappy. They're like, we're pleading to play our best. Okay, but what is your best? You don't even know what your best is. What we think our best is are these 5 shots. We want all of those to show up on all 7. We want to hit every fairway because we have the possibility of hitting a fairway. Doesn't mean it's going to show up. That's not realistic. I want to make every putt. That's not who you are. Like we're saying, I want to play my best. That means I can hit a flop shot off a hard pan on a downhill lie over a bunker 1 out of 30 times. And when that shows up, I want that to show up today. When I have that shot, I want that to show up. That's my best. We want all of our best shots of all of the shots that we have to show up in one day. That's not realistic. That phrase actually doesn't serve you, saying I want to play my best. How do you play your best? That's a question to ask. It's also like the question, how do you make a birdie? I have tour players that I coach and like, I knew what the cut was and I had 4 holes going in. I'm like, I just need to make a couple birdies going in. I'm like, how'd that work for you? Well, I went bogey, bogey, bogey. Right? Because I'm like, how do you make a birdie? I was like, if you could make a birdie on demand, I'm like, why the hell haven't you done it for the first 14 holes? Like, where you been? You can't make a birdie on demand. If you could, you got lucky. Like, if you're like, I want to make a birdie here, and you made a birdie, you're like, see, I can do it. I can do it again. You got lucky if that happened. Because how do you make a birdie? I've asked this to tour players, to higher handicaps, and then a birdie might be to them feel like a little bit bigger reach. If you had to ask yourself, how do you make one? So they start with, I hit a really good drive. Is that true? Do you have to hit a good drive to make a birdie? I mean, have you ever made a birdie from the rough? Oh, yeah, I have. All right, well, I need to hit it close. Is that true? Do you need to hit it close? No. Do you need to hit a really good shot? Have you ever rolled it up onto the green to 10 feet from the pin? Yeah. Like you can't predict a birdie. All you can do is hit as many shots from calm, certain, or confident as possible and slap your score up on the board and say, that's the best I had today. That's all you can do. That's all you can control. Okay, so back to expectations. So if you go through all of these and that's your expectation, I think it would be so fun. I said this to my brother once. They were going to play golf when I had this like moment. I said, wouldn't it be fun if we did this? And he's like, no. So I think it's fun. Okay, if you stood on the first tee and like maybe you're just playing with some strangers, just said, hey, my name's Kathy. I just want to tell you that there's a 30% chance that I'm going to scull a couple balls out of the bunker today. And I'm going to duck hook 2. That's what I do, 2 out of 20. So there's a shot that I could show up today. A duck hook's going to show up. I 3-putt like 4 times typically in a round. So I'm going to 3-putt a few times. Every once in a while I scull a chip. It's just, that's who I am. Like, all right, let's have fun. Tell me about you. They're like, well, I fat some every once in a while. That's like what I do. Right? When I have a shot over water, I have a tendency to hit in the water like 50% of the time. That's meeting you where you are. When you argue with that part, you're just going to be frustrated. That's where our frustration comes from. It's a lack of self-acceptance. But if you don't know these numbers, you're thinking that you should be playing at a level that you don't own. Does that make sense? All right, my friends, there you have it. So if you haven't done this exercise, which you may have heard me talk about before, make sure you go to the range and collect your data so that you can get your expectations meeting reality. And by the way, if you want to watch this workshop, I've uploaded it to my YouTube channel, which I'm trying to give a little bit more attention to, and that is at youtube.com at Your Mental Caddy, and you'll be able to watch this workshop live and in action. And make sure that you're on the lookout for my next virtual Master Your Golf Brain workshop, which will be coming very soon. You can be in the know when that comes out if you go to kathyhartwood.com/join. All right, my friends, have a beautiful week, and I'll talk to you next Wednesday. Bye.